Welcome to another episode of the Vegan Pulse. I am your host, Nancy Arenas. Today, back with us is Gabriel Gaarden with our segment of Making Sense with Gabriel. Stick around. We'll be right back. Hi, Gabriel. Welcome back to Making Sense with Gabriel.
Hi, Nancy. How are you?
Doing well. My question today is very specific, and it goes kind of like this. Whoa. I lost it for a second. Here it is. What is the difference between a nutritionist and a dietitian, and when should we employ the help of either one of them?
Awesome. Great question. So let's see. Yeah. So the number one, a nutritionist cannot be or is not a dietitian, whereas a dietitian is both dietitian and nutritionist. So when you go to school to become a registered dietitian, like me, you have to complete a 4-year degree in nutrition and dietetics at an accredited university, that's accredited to deliver that type of education, which is called a DPD program, a dietetic. I'm forgetting what that stands for, but people can look it up. And so, yeah, an accredited DPD program. And then you have to go through an internship. When I completed my dietetic internship, it used to be a requirement. And then again, that's from an accredited provider. It used to be a requirement that you complete 1,200 or 1,200 hours of supervised practice in nutrition and dietetics. And we do areas within, of course, clinical nutrition, which is usually based in a setting like a hospital. We do a management rotation where you're doing food service management. Again, that many times is in a hospital as well, but working specifically in the kitchen and food service at a hospital. And then our other primary rotation is community nutrition. And that's usually out in the world working with communities, doing nutrition education, consultation, stuff like that. And then we do like a research rotation where we learn more about nutrition research. And then we did an enrichment rotation where we usually go back to one of those other 4 and spend more time at one of those other rotations. And then after that's done, you complete your internship at an accredited provider. Then you have to sit for and pass a national level exam to become a registered dietitian. And then every, so many years, you have to complete a certain number of hours of continuing education to maintain your licensure or your registration as a registered dietitian. But like I said in the beginning, any dietitian is also considered a nutritionist. We're called RDNs, or registered dietitian nutritionists. And then on the other hand, a nutritionist is a little bit more broad, because you could go to a number of different institutions, some of which may be accredited, some of which may not, to complete nutrition education. Some nutritionists will actually get degrees in nutrition like me, like at a 4-year, university. And then they can also sit for a national level exam, but they're not required to go through that whole, 1,200-hour supervised practice dietetic internship before they do. But they can sit for a national level exam and actually pass an exam and there's a lot of different qualifications with nutritionists, like I mentioned. But I think one is called like a certified nutrition specialist, a CNS. And I believe with those, they do sit for a national level exam, and they can become then like registered or certified as a nutritionist. And I'm assuming they also do have to complete regular continuing education like we do as registered dietitians, but I'm not positive about that because I'm a registered dietitian. I'm not a certified nutrition specialist. There's other qualifications too. There's others that are called DTRs, which are dietetic technicians registered. And they have other, I think they have to pass an exam, but they don't need a degree in nutrition as far as I know. So there's a lot of different qualifications out there, or titles that people can have. One thing people can know is that when you get a registered dietitian, not to say that every registered dietitian is great, because I know plenty of them who, aren't really walking the walk when it comes to putting the best food in their mouths on a daily basis, and really looking at the best available scientific evidence and promoting that to their patients. But that being said, when you get services from a registered dietitian, you know that at least they're reaching a certain level of both education and both qualification when it comes to their nutrition expertise and their ability to deliver evidence-based information. When it comes to nutritionists, you could certainly get a wonderful nutritionist who knows just as much or even more than some registered dietitians. The problem is because there's less regulation and because so many different people, you could literally go online and you could probably just take some random course for a very minimal amount of money. Something may even be free, and you could print out a certificate that shows that you're a nutritionist, quote unquote, but you may have very little real expertise and very little real ability to give evidence-based information. And so that's the problem with nutritionists, is some of them may be very well qualified, others may be not well qualified at all. And so if they give you information, that information may be dangerous, literally dangerous to the health of you or your loved ones. And so people should just really look out when it comes to nutritionists. If you're gonna ask a nutritionist for information, try to find out more about where they got their qualifications, how much school they've actually gone through to become a nutritionist, and things like that, so you know more. But generally speaking, it's really good to, if you have access to a registered dietitian, to look for a registered dietitian, and then to know you're getting a really good registered dietitian versus one who's just so-so or whatever. Look for a registered dietitian like me, who specializes in plant-based nutrition, because then you know you're going to be getting somebody who knows a lot about the foods that are healthiest for human beings to be consuming on a daily basis. You want a registered dietitian who knows a lot about plant-based general nutrition, but specifically plant-based nutrition, because for anybody to be healthy, realistically, they need to be consuming a lot of plants on a daily basis, and they should know a lot about those plants and what plants are good for treating different disease outcomes, whether it's I've got chronic kidney disease, I've got liver failure, I've got type 2 diabetes, I've got Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis. How can I use food to help heal my body? You should definitely look for a registered dietitian who specializes in whole food plant-based nutrition.
So here I am. I have some gut issues. Let's say I eat, but I rarely poop. Can you help?
Definitely. So we spoke in a recent episode about fiber, and fiber is the number one important thing that we should be consuming a lot of to maintain a healthy gut. And so the first thing I would do is encourage that or educate the person about the importance of fiber. And then we would talk about strategies for how they can realistically incorporate more fiber into their daily routine. One important thing to know about fiber is you got to go slow. And so, because if you increase your fiber too quickly, you can cause a lot of digestive discomfort, like bloating, like gas, which can make people really uncomfortable. For some people, it's not a problem. They can go from 0 to hero really quick, and their gut just adapts super quickly. But for other people, they're more sensitive and they need to take more time. So as a general rule, I'll tell people don't add any more than about 5 grams of fiber per week. So say I'm eating what the standard American average is right now is only 15 grams per week. So if I'm an average American, which most people are probably somewhere around that range, I'm going to say don't eat any more than, so increase your fiber, but don't go above 20 grams. And do that for about a week, maybe 10 days. Once your body's used to that, increase another 5 grams and go up to 25 grams per day. And then do that for 7 to 10 days until your body adjusts. And those little increments will help people gradually adapt so that too much fiber doesn't give them that upset that might happen. And that'll be the best way that they can help improve their digestion and make sure that they're not constipated long-term, because constipation is a pain. It can be painful. And not only is it painful, but it can be very harmful to your long-term health. And so if you're constipated, you should take action right now. See a great registered dietitian. But number one, just start getting more fiber into your diet, which means eat more plants, people.
Eat more plants. You heard it right here. Eat more plants. Thank you, Gabriel, for another informative episode of Making Sense with Gabriel. Until next time, bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us on another episode of The Vegan Pulse. Follow us on Facebook, Like us too, check out our website and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have a pulse, you have a purpose. Live vegan.